Hi guys, it's Morgan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Broadway musical Just in Time. If you don't know, Just in Time is about the singer Bobby Darin, played by Jonathan Groff, and we follow his rise from sick child to teen icon to global sensation. And we also see him navigate fame, family secrets, and his famously short life. The show also contains several of Bobby Darin's hits, including Splish Splash and Mac the Knife. Now, if you haven't seen Just in Time, there will be spoilers in this review, so stop watching if you don't want to be spoiled. So, here's my review of the Broadway musical Just in Time. Jonathan Groff was amazing as Bobby Darin, and I already knew this would happen before seeing the show, but the way that the show starts is Jonathan Groff introduces himself to the audience as Jonathan before he gets into character as Bobby Darin. Something that Jonathan says in the beginning of the show and the end of the show that I thought was funny is that we're in the basement of Wicked, since the theater that Just in Time is in is the Circle in the Square Theater, which is attached to the Gershwin Theater, where Wicked is. I really loved the relationship between Bobby and his mother, Polly Walden, played by Michelle Puck. So it was really sad when Bobby found out that Polly had died, and he felt guilty for not going home to see her like he had promised. I also felt sorry for Bobby's sister, Nina Castato, played by Emily Bergel, since it was clear that Bobby cared a lot more about Polly than he did Nina, which definitely made things difficult when, after Bobby told Nina that he was thinking about going into politics, Nina told him that he shouldn't because she was worried about people digging into their personal lives, and she finally told Bobby that she was his biological mother and not Polly, which caused Bobby to get upset for having that secret kept from him, and he threw Nina out of his dressing room. And based on my research, Bobby and Nina never reconciled before Bobby died. I really loved the relationship between Bobby and Connie Francis, played by Sarah Hyland. They were just really cute together, and you couldn't help but root for them. So it was really sad when Connie told Bobby that she couldn't marry him since her father didn't approve of Bobby. Something that I loved about Bobby's other love interest, Sandra Dee, played by Sadie Dickerson, is that, like Bobby, Sandra had the ability to snap her fingers which made everyone else on stage freeze, and she could also talk to the audience. So you thought that her and Bobby would be great together. But after they got married and had a son, it was clear that things weren't going well between them, and they ended up getting divorced. Something that I thought was interesting is after Bobby and Sandra's divorce, there's a scene where the two of them are talking, and they both say how they have no plans to get remarried. And based on my research, Sandra never did, but Bobby did remarry a woman named Andrea Yeager, and they also ended up getting divorced. So I'm curious why she wasn't included in the show. I also went to the stage door after the show and got my playbill signed and took pictures with cast members. So here are those pictures. Now, if you want to see Just in Time and you want to see Jonathan Groff in it, his last show is going to be on March 29th, 2026. But if you don't get a chance to see Jonathan Groff, it's been announced that the person replacing him will be Jeremy Jordan, and his first show is on April 21st, 2026, and I'm sure he'll also be amazing. I'm assuming that the things that Jeremy will say in the beginning of the show will be different from what Jonathan says, since Jonathan talks about his own experience with Bobby Darin, and also talks about the fact that he spits when he sings. If you know, you know. So logically, whatever Jeremy says will be different. Thanks for watching, guys! If you saw Just in Time, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And if you want to see any of my future videos, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!